And this is my personal assistant, Dr. And from there, but he's at the moment without status because we're just re-registering our party. So it's nothing so far. But I as well, when none of us have any position.
You're important. The busy schedule of taking us time to meetings. So, you are a privilege and pleasure to be here. Listen to your advice and how we can go forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. Join us.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much to all of you for coming. It's been an honor and a privilege to meet Daw Aung, and we've had a very productive meeting and enlightening meeting. We share the concern for the democratic transition in Burma. I definitely pay tribute to the progress made, but stress the important task of bringing the process even further. The democratic transition must go on. We have discussed the issue of political prisoners. I think it's a critical element in moving forward. We've discussed, and I share the concern for the ethnic groups and the ethnic conflict. And here, the human rights issue must stand firm. And finally, we trust and hope for a free and firm, fair election at the by-election in April. Moreover, we have discussed how important it is that the democratic process now is also translated into concrete progress for the individual family, for the individual child, for the communities, for the farmers in Burma, Myanmar, and discussed how we can create progress, not only on the democratic front, but progress for these individuals, for the Burmese people. I very thank Daw Aung for the input, inspiration, and her leadership, and I have congratulated her on the registration of NLD now as an official party. I think it's a tremendously important step for the democratic progress in Burma, Myanmar, and I hope and trust that this will make the democratic transition useful and relevant for all Burmese people who can find themselves now represented in the democratic transition process in Burma. Thank you very much.
Denmark has long been a good friend of Burma, the people of Burma, and we're very happy to welcome the Minister to our country. And apart from the fact that Denmark has been a good friend, the Scandinavian countries are shining examples of people-oriented governance. And because of that, we put particular value on our friendship with the countries of Scandinavia. I hope that the links between us will be strengthened over the years, and as Burma progresses towards democracy, I sincerely believe that we will be able to make progress towards democracy through the efforts of our own people as well as the efforts of our friends abroad. And as we make this progress, we hope to strengthen further the links between our countries. And I am sure this will not be the first time that I welcome a Minister of Denmark to Burma. Thank you.
questions?
How will you make sure that the relation that you have made, the relation Denmark government has made has reached to the grassroots and those who need it?
This is exactly one of the issues we have discussed, and how can we make sure that Denmark will now double our development assistance to Burma already in 2012, and we have discussed how can we make sure that this contribution and this partnership we will build with the Burmese people translate into concrete progress. It will be issues of health, it will be education, and we've also discussed the important role of farmers in Burma to build an economic future of the country. And those ideas we will take with us and thereby shape, hopefully, a partnership with the Burmese people that really makes a difference, so that the Burmese people can see that the democratic transition gives concrete benefits in terms of better livelihoods. We've also discussed how can we make sure that the democratic process that we have seen and increased, hopefully, respect for human rights is maintained, and how do we build a bulwark against setbacks. And rule of law is an absolutely critical element in building a bulwark and against setbacks in the future of the Burmese democratic transition. And this is what we have discussed and exchanged ideas about. How can Denmark and the Danish efforts and partnership with the Burmese people make sure the rule of law is central? Because if political prisoners are freed, if ethnic conflicts are ceased, we must make sure that those important and necessary steps forward are also building a bridge into the future where the rule of law and the protection of human rights is shaped for each and every Burmese individual.
Can you please give a specific example? What kind of measures ensure that such kinds of human rights issue are issued and
We will, of course, still have a constructive and critical dialogue with the government on the rule of law and the protection of human rights. We will do our best to shape the partnership with the relevant institutions in Burma that can bridge a path towards a stronger rule of law and a protection of human rights. And of course we will also, from the European side, engage in a dialogue on how we together in the European Union, where Denmark will have the presidency for the next half year, how we in the European Union can have a strong dialogue and a constructive and critical dialogue with the Burmese government on how rule of law can be promoted and the human rights can be protected.
I'm going to write, please.
How do you mention that?
Yeah, it's a little similar. That's I want to know is I'm from education like this, and I want to be sure that how your nanny is going to our space. Do you have any checks and balance about this? Or is there any instruction to?
In my opinion, the major and most important way to build checks and balances in a country is to ensure a rights-based approach to development. That means that you allow each and every individual to fight for their own rights, and also to have the means to influence the way that money is spent and programs are shaped and projects are built and schools are constructed. And this has a lot to do with transparency. It has a lot to do with building accountability structures from each and every institutions so that they in a transparent way show the work they do and make sure that everybody knows the way the funds they are entrusted are spent. The accountability must come from beneath and from within. And by allowing the school teachers to know how much funds the schools should receive, allowing the parents to know exactly how the programs are shaped, and giving them the means and the measures so that they themselves can build the accountability structures. I think that's the major way forward in ensuring that the funds are used the way they should be. It has to do with transparency. It has to do with an open budget in Parliament. It has to do that each and every organization should make visible and transparently how they use the funds and what they intend to do. And then we must empower the Burmese people to shape those checks and balances that you asked for. I think that's the way we should pursue it, and that's the vision that we have for whatever we can do in a Burmese context.
Minister Tulas, he will discuss with anti-Suu how they can contribute Myanmar democratic progress. So my question is to anti-Suu, what have you suggested?
The important thing is to watch what is happening in Burma and to see how quickly and how well we are progressing towards genuine democratization. And there are, of course, a number of basic indications, such as the release of political prisoners and an effort to end ethnic conflict, and, of course, a free and fair by-election. So these are some of the ways in which the world will be able to judge how far we are progressing.
Just